What's going on, y'all? Good to see everyone in the chat. Mike and I just got off the booze cruise, and we had a crazy fun time. It was nuts, man.
Yeah, that was a little more crazy than I expected it to go, man.
Yeah, we're still recovering just a little bit, but yeah, it was nuts. And man, you know, so everyone knows the Naughty Man down below. I hope you know these folks, Addy and Terry.
What's up?
Hey.
Hey.
These guys, if you have not, oh, look at that. Look at that.
So Josh, have you tried that yet?
Baby.
Have you tried it? It's the new AI feature, right? So it's been popping all over the place. Everyone's like trying it out. And I've been sending super chats to some people, and they're like, how did that happen? So if you hold up the thumbs up, it does one. If you hold up the it does another one.
Oh, is that on the iPhone or something?
It's just a new AI technology that YouTube's using, Facebook's using, Instagram's using, everybody's using it. So you got the thumbs up, the peace sign, and the heart, and that just drops.
For me, man.
But you gotta hold it. You can't expect it to happen real quick. You gotta hold it for a couple seconds.
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh, I guess it don't like Bulldog fans. I don't know.
My shit's weak. All right. So again, you know, rules of engagement. Am I coming in a little hot?
No, you sound good on my end.
Not good. All right. Hey, you know, if there's good questions, the moderators will flag those, but we're trying to keep the engagement in the chat to a minimum because we want to have this free verse open conversation with our friends Addy and Terry, who I just found out are Auburn fans living in Georgia.
Hey.
But hey, you gotta pull for the alma mater. That's all right. It's all good, man. You know, unfortunately, my alma mater doesn't have much of a football team, Austin P. So it is what it is. But, so hey, anyway, you know, this is awesome. Glad to have you guys in.
Thank you for having us.
Large creators for me and the Naughty Man. So we appreciate the collaboration.
Oh yeah, we're still peas on a peen pole, man. Like we ain't nowhere near.
Hey, man, we're all in this together, and trust me, I feel like that every single day.
Yes.
Yeah, and I love that. You know, I feel like y'all have the same motivation as us. If we grow this community, because I feel like YouTube and cruising is just beginning to start. Because there's no reason why the cruising and travel community on YouTube should not be as large as the Disney community. It's the same kind of folks, you know, the same kind of enjoyment you get out of that travel, right? So I think it's just a matter of one of us at some point we're going to hit that magic and it'll take off. But you know what is it? So
right,
yeah. So these guys, if you don't know anything about them, I'm going to let you guys talk here in a second. I'll run away with this, and Naughty will tell me to shut up in a minute. But you know, cruising and travel, you know, all over it. There are also TAs, 42 cruises, 25 countries, and I'll let you guys take it from there.
All right. Well, I'll let you do the intro. You do that so well.
Okay. I'm Addy, and he's Terry. Like he said, 42 cruises and 25 countries. We've been traveling via cruise since 2007.
7, yeah. Well, I'll try to. Ooh, getting this.
Yeah, that was our first cruise. Yeah, our very first cruise was on Costa, a very, very Italian cruise line, not your usual one of the big three.
Yeah.
And I had to immensely talk him into it because he was adamantly
I was definitely one of those guys that was like, you know, metal doesn't float. That's too much water to drink. There's no way you're gonna get me out there. And then she comes in and surprises me. Hey, I did a thing, and I'm like, what you do?
I found a great deal on a New Year's Eve cruise, and we're going.
See, sometimes that's all it takes is that little encouragement from somebody else and that forcefulness, and then you're hooked. You fall in love, and that's it. You're done.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's definitely an addiction.
There's no other choice. You got to go.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. I mean, like, I feel like I'm getting gypped if I'm not going on a cruise. If I'm doing anything other than a cruise, I'm like, this is a ripoff, man. What do we got?
That's exactly how we feel now. Because our second cruise wasn't until about 3 years later. 4 years later. But after we did the whole family trip thing to Disney and we realized how much that cost.
Yeah.
That was that when we were like, wow, we could go on a cruise for like half that.
Yeah, exactly.
For a family of 5. So cruising became it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of money for those land-based opportunities. When I first moved to Florida, I was like, oh, season pass holder, here I come. I got a family of 5. So season pass holders for 5 people for a year. You're like, man, I can take my kids on 3 cruises.
Yeah.
And it'd be so much more worth it than the season passes. But man, I can't knock it. I'll drop $300-$400 just to go to Disney for a day. It don't matter.
That's our buddy, the travel sergeant, who was on a few episodes back. He just did some posting on Instagram, and he was given like the top ways to save money, and like every one of them was like, just don't come, because he's talking about Disney. He's like, the only way to save money is just don't come. Leave your pocketbook at the house. And I, I identify with that. I mean, we go to Disney, it's no holds barred, man. We're going to get everything we can get, the popcorn buckets, you have to, if you go,
it's part of the experience.
And that's how we started. We were Disney people twice a year.
Oh, wow.
And and then we were actually supposed to go to Disneyland, and COVID happened. And, we dealt with that for a little bit, and then they opened up cruising. We actually went to Disney, and it was pretty terrible being down in Disney World with masks and it being so hot.
Oh, I can imagine.
So we're like, you know what? We do this on a cruise ship. It's more tolerable. So, we started during COVID, and we actually brought it back after our first cruise, but it was worth it. It was worth it. So, that started our addiction. So.
Nice.
So it sounds like for you, it was just a leap of faith, and you're like, shoot, this is where it's at.
I knew because my family has been cruising since like forever. So I knew cruising was fun. I just had never gone on a cruise myself. So it just took convincing the big guy that we're not going to sink. It's not the Titanic.
Sun, beach, food, drinks, traveling,
visiting other countries.
You can't beat cruising. And the thing that sold me was the fact that there were so many different people from so many different walks of life, so many nationalities. And for that week, you would think you were in Nirvana. There was no problems, no issues. Everyone got along. And I was like, this is...
Everybody felt like a big family at the end of the week, right? You bump into people, you have conversations, you make those lifelong relationships at the end of the day. And that's what I try and tell a lot of people too. Like, if you go to a land-based place, you're going to find some friends, you're going to find whatever, but you're not going to build those lifelong friendships. Like, one of the guys I cruise with religiously, I met on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
Wow.
And when I got an offer and nobody here can go with me, I'm like, yo, bro, you want to hop on a ship? He's like, yes, I'm on my way. And the great thing is like, with me living in Florida, my closest cruise port's 40 minutes. My furthest one's 5 hours. He lives right in the Panhandle. So it's easy for me to just hop on a ship at any given moment and be like, yo, I got this offer. Let's go. And we're gone. We hit the port and we out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's nuts. I mean, and even people you meet from the cruising community that you never sailed with, and then that first time you connect, which, surprisingly enough, we're 9 episodes in, and Nadia and I met right before this episode.
Yeah, just met for the first time. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we kissed each other on the lips, so like we're real close. What happens at the pub crawl? No, but we had it's just like family. I mean, we picked up with everyone, whether we had met them or not, and it's just a kumbaya kind of traveling that you don't get any other way. You go a lot of places. Like, I get frustrated at Disney. It's supposed to be the happiest place in the world. By the end of the day, I'm hot, I'm angry, I done spent a bunch of money, I probably have indigestion.
Yeah.
It's tough, right? So like you say that, but your kids are older. My kids are young. So I got a 12-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a 5-year-old. So you imagine the amount of money you go and drop just for one day to go to Disney. And then halfway through the day, your kids are getting miserable because you didn't buy them the 5th ice cream, or they don't want to wait in line anymore. They're throwing temper tantrums, and you're like, all this money for a day of hell? Yeah, this is not how this is supposed to go.
Like right at your kids' ages is when we started our family vacation thing. I think our youngest was 7 at the time when we went to Disney.
Yeah.
And he was 8 when we went on our first cruise. And our kids told us cruising.
Oh, yeah. They got a chance to go to the kids clubs, and they were real active, and they realized they didn't have to be with us all the time. It gave them like their own little sense of independence, even at a young age.
They were sold.
Yeah, you ask my kids now, Disney or a cruise, and all 3 of them, let's go on a cruise. Let's take a cruise trip. You know, and I started cruising at a young age. I was probably like 11 or 12 when I did my first cruise. And I started taking my kids when they were young. That's the only way to do it, right? So my daughter, she's been on so many. By the time she turns 18, she'll be elite with Princess. So she's already at 10 years old. She's already at the highest status with Princess Cruise Lines that she could possibly be at. So once she's 18 and she's able to get on that sailing, she'll go right to elite status.
Nice.
So I started when they're young, you know.
Nice.
Yeah, it's my grandson. We're going to take him on his first cruise in June, and he'll be 4. You know, yeah. So we love him to death. But we've got our second grandson coming around that same time. So the idea is get him out of the house, let mom and dad nest, and we'll take him on a 7-10 day cruise and let them settle in.
Nice.
Gives us a good excuse to go cruising, like we need an excuse. So hey, we talked a lot about Disney. So since we're here, it's a good segue. You guys sell Disney, and we don't have, at least in our community, we don't have a lot of people who sell a lot of Disney. We have people that have sold Disney, but you guys do it quite a bit. So, give us, a little bit your take on Disney, how different it is, not just price wise and this and that, but the experience, if you would.
So for us, finally getting the chance to do Disney after a lot of years, and going as empty nesters, no kids, was really, really an eye-opening experience. Disney does Disney, and Disney does Disney well.
Yeah.
And there is something for everybody, regardless if you're a solo, if you have young kids, older kids, or no kids, we found out. But we also discovered from the adult standpoint that you really have to love Disney to go on a Disney cruise. And what the first ship that we went on was
Fantasy. Wonder.
Yeah. No.
Wonder.
Yeah, Wonder. Disney Wonder.
We were gonna do Fantasy.
And of course it was traditional Disney. And then as we started learning more, we were like, okay, I think there's one Disney ship that would probably fit us. If you don't know, I am a huge Star Wars fanatic.
Oh yeah, baby, come on.
So Star Wars, and for you,
I'm the
Pixar, and we were like, okay.
I knew I could feel Metachlorians. I knew I could feel it.
Oh, come on! I got it up.
It's on his arm.
On my arm. Die hard. But really, it was eye-opening. The food, of course, was great. The entertainment was stellar, as you would expect.
Yes.
And we didn't feel alienated, even though there were a lot of families and a lot of children on board. There was still enough for us to do as adults, and places to go and things to see and do and connect, to where, it was really a really good experience. And we can't wait to get back on another Disney ship. Like the biggest thing for me, like you said, I do cocktails.
Yeah.
And the bar selection on Disney Cruise Line is A1. When I saw a bottle of Pappy, and if you guys don't know that, that's a bourbon whiskey on board, and a lot of other high-end bourbons, I was just like, yo, I don't get that on Carnival or Royal or Norwegian or even Virgin.
No, you're lucky to see a bottle of Buffalo Trace most of the time, you know. And when I see that, I'm like, there it is. I mean, that's poor man's happy, right?
I'm going to say that being a chef, that the food aspect on Disney was phenomenal. I mean, I was expecting good food just because it's Disney, and you know, Disney, they do food well. But Paulo and Remy, the two what are they? Specialty dining. They are phenomenal. I mean, for Remy, it is a full-on high-speed 5-star dining experience. I mean, you're in there for a good 2.5 hours, but it doesn't feel like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
All the food, we got to taste some of the wine from the Skywalker Ranch. It was delicious and blew his mind. So the food was just phenomenal. And like he said, the cocktail aspect of it, the adults area with all the bars, they're very specialized. Like I really like the champagne bar because it was like bubbles everywhere, and the room actually looked like bubbles were everywhere. So I think that they take a really good care to envelop people in everything. So that's what I liked about it. And then if you wanted to
when I think about it, and I was telling this to my wife about taking her grandson, because at some point I want to take him. I feel like he would do better on a Disney cruise than he would in Disney World. It's like waiting in lines and all that kind of stuff, right? But it feels like a Disney cruise is just you're just immersed in character experience.
You are.
Yeah. So I know that the kids would love that.
And you hear about the loyal to royal community, but Disney,
they ain't got nothing on Disney.
My goodness. We met so many people that if you told them there were other cruise lines out there,
they were like, really?
They'd look at you sideways like, what do you mean? They only sailed Disney Cruise Line. And a lot of them only sell Disney because either that's where their parents brought them, or because they do have young kids and they want to continue to give them that experience, and that's where they go to Disney. But that is one hardcore, tight-knit community.
So now, with you being a big Star Wars fan and a cocktail guy, you'd go for that $5,000 Star Wars drink on the Disney ship?
Well, see, what happened was
what had happened was
the way my bank account is set up.
I honestly think if he was presented with a chance to buy it, like if our bank account just magically had a plethora of cash. Because once we found out what was included with that cocktail, he was like, oh.
Well, I mean, a trip to Skywalker Ranch.
It's a trip to Skywalker Ranch,
but still,
a bottle of the Skywalker Cabernet. You get a lot with it.
I'm telling you right now, if my bank account was set up that way, I'd have done dropped the $5,000.
Yeah.
You talk about how it's on your body, bro.
If our bank account was set up the right way, we would totally do it.
Speaking on the real level, you're like, oh, it's on my body. A quarter of my body is 100% Disney. Like I'm covered every which way. I would have dropped the $5,000 on that drink because I knew what came with it when I first seen the drink video come out. And I was like, oh man, I'll drop the $5,000, do it for the vlog. Then you get all this other stuff included with it. That's well worth the price, right? All I wanted was the big old tank to bring back to the house.
Right. So when are you guys going to go sailing on the Galactic Starship? When are you going to go do that? The Star Cruiser.
It was closing down.
I thought they said they were opening it back up. I thought they were going to like respin it and open it back up. I thought I'd saw some news on that.
Not sure.
I was going to do it for his birthday last year. But he wanted to do something much bigger. It probably would have cost around the same, but I was going to do it for his birthday last year. But that's when we found out that they were going to be closing it down.
Yeah, it's a shame it didn't do as well. You know, I thought that the Star Wars community would embrace that, but I guess the price
Price.
Yeah, that's what it was, solely price. Other than that, people were dying to go.
And it was only what, 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
For the experience.
Yeah, it was like I mean, it was completely immersive, but yeah, I don't know why that didn't. So I'm looking at the re-release.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Okay, they're saying that there's going to be a final voyage.
Oh.
September 28th through that's already happened. So maybe it's done. I guess it's done. I knew I had saw something. So but yeah, I've been a little behind the times on some of the Disney stuff.
Well, I tell you what, I'll pool half, you pool half. We'll go on a cruise together and we'll get that drink and that experience. I wonder if they'll let both of us go.
Hey, you're muted, Mike.
You're muted.
Come on, Nadi. You got it. You got it. There we go.
I'm over here looking something up, and I didn't want to talk. I'll drop 2,500 on that drink quick, and we could share. We can send it back and forth in the mail. I work for a postal service. We can make this happen.
All right. So, one of the things I'm interested in, and a lot of our folks are interested in, and I saw on your page, y'all are one of the top 100 advisors for Virgin Voyages.
Yes.
So fill us in on Virgin, because a lot of us have, a lot of interest in sailing Virgin. It looks amazing. But we just haven't, a lot of us just haven't pulled the trigger just yet. So any advice, what is the experience like? I saw, ooh, that's what I think when I think of that experience. Ooh.
Trigger. If you are looking to have a upscale but no holds barred fun environment with no kids, that's the cruise line for you.
And
you get,
no kids and half the clothes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not that
the grown folks line.
It's not really. It's not all sexy. Ooh.
No. There have been a lot of videos and a lot of people and a lot of rumors and a lot of, over dramatization to get the click about Virgin. When you get there, it
totally
is
not like that.
Yeah, so I've talked to a couple other people, man. They're like, just do it. It's more of like that adult, laid back, more upscale vibe. You got your racy stuff. You got your not so racy stuff. You can find your racy stuff at certain areas of the ship. I mean, it's just with like every other cruise line, right? You can find the party. You can find the quiet zone. It's completely up to you and how you determine it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I've heard the food is just spectacular.
The food is phenomenal, and it's all included. So if you want to go to every single restaurant in one day, I mean, you'd probably be stuffed in the coma, but you could. You could literally sit and order the entire menu.
And they don't have a drink package, right? You have to like purchase your bar loot. I've heard something about this bar loot thing.
Yes.
Bar tab.
They have what's called a bar tab, and it's per person, and it's usually $300. And usually the promotions that they're running usually give you that $300 bar tab. So basically, they don't have the drink package. So only one person in the cabin has to get the drink or the bar tab if they want to. Both of you are allowed, but only one person has to get a bar tab. So if I want to buy a round of drinks, I can buy everyone here a round of drinks. It's not, I have to wait 5 minutes and order you. Wait 5 minutes and order you.
Now, does that bar tab cover you for the whole cruise?
The whole cruise.
Yes. Until you run it out. Until you drink it up, you are good to go.
If you drink it up, can you load more though?
Yes.
You can load more. And like she said, based on, what promotions Virgin is running, and they've done where they will give you a bonus 100. If you're on a 7-day cruise, I've seen them double it. So you wind up having $600 to $700 of bar tab to drink.
Just popping bottles.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, if you're on a cruise and you're going to one of the stops that's got the world's largest nightclub in it, I mean, why not, right?
Hey, yeah. I like it because it's just like going to a bar. Like if you're just going out and about, so you know how that works. If you want to get a drink, you gotta pay for it. and you know, it doesn't really matter what you're getting. There is no, well, if this drink is $15, it doesn't apply,
cuts off
or
here.
it cuts off. Yeah. Whatever you can afford is what you can afford on your bar tab. And like she said, you know, if one person doesn't drink in your cabin, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, that's a nice thing. You're not forced as a second person to have to purchase it. So that's a nice thing.
I like that all the dining is available. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And it works for everything from the specialty coffees to the fresh juices and smoothies, because just like Virgin is known for their nighttime fun, but during the day, they're also known for all the healthy stuff. So you have all included fitness classes that are actually timed throughout the day, because they know everybody's not going to wake up at 8 o'clock to go do a yoga class or a spin class. So you may have a yoga class at noon or at 3 o'clock, or a spin class, or just a class that's just for stretching, or a crazy class like the bungee class that I did, or what was the other one?
The VCR,
VHS workout. So
well, they go back to like Jane Fonda or something.
Yes.
Yeah. Richard
Simmons up in the 80s.
She's a maniac.
So it's, and all of their entertainment is like that as well. Some of the best entertainment that we've ever seen on a cruise, because it's mostly interactive. Even their dance performances, most of them are interactive. The game shows, it's all kind of cheeky and fun.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, and I haven't been yet, but I'm a big fan of multi-purpose venue areas, right? So like how Carnival multi-venued that Celebration Central area. Virgin's got that big multi-venue area on their ships. And I love the multi-venue area because it serves multiple purposes. It's not just like the original theater that can only serve one purpose. So I definitely want to get on Virgin, but I want to get on Virgin over in the Med. I don't want to do it in the Caribbean. I want to do it in the Med.
Having done it.
I know. And I've seen some videos.
Really recommend.
Y'all was walking around Italy sweating a little too much for my legging, but I mean, I'll do it.
They don't do Virgin anymore.
Yeah, that port's out. Yeah.
They've swapped ports, so.
Yeah,
maybe
so,
they was like, we need to not go to Oldie.
So did you guys did you have a room with the hammock?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, every
all balconies have a hammock.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yes. And that thing is
it's addictive. So once you get in it, you're gonna fall asleep if you're in it more
no
than
ifs about it.
You're gonna fall asleep.
That's awesome.
They're addictive.
Fall asleep or fall out of it.
Asleep. No, you're not gonna fall out. It wraps around you.
Literally,
I'm a big boy, man. We talking.
Hey, I'm working over here too, but you good.
Hey, if that ship was rocking the way the Glory was, you'd be falling overboard.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't be out on
the Glory was kicking.
But I gotta ask, right? So, when was it that y'all went on Virgin? Was that in the beginning? Has it been recently? Has it been like 6 months, a year? Because I heard through the grapevine that Virgin be putting some toys up in their cabins.
Oh, see, they don't do it no more.
Nah, they don't do it no more.
In the very, very beginning.
The black box.
It was a little black box, and it was, if you use it, you pay for it, but if you don't, you don't. But it was a little black box in the suite, and
with adult accoutrement
inside.
Listen, I'm game for it, right? Like, yo, hook it up. Like, I mean,
but
if you're selling with Scott, is he game for that?
With that being said,
I'm not saying for myself. I'm saying in general, right? Like,
it's grown folks. It's grown folks time.
Right. It's an adults only cruise ship. So why not have that type of thing that's readily available? If you use it, it's just like Vegas. If you drink a bottle of water on the bar, you pay for it. If you don't,
exactly. That's how they were in the suites. But now it's in the shops.
But that's still cool that they offer it,
wall.
Everything you may need to make your journey pleasurable. To the point where they sell out.
Wow.
And
so
that's great for me, the creator standpoint, because I could be like, yo, a lot of people had fun on this cruise.
Yeah. That's so cool, man.
So
I saw the videos. Like you guys took several people on the cruise, on one 40, that had never been on one.
40 virgins.
How did that work out for you guys? It looked fun.
It was my Sisterhood at Sea group cruise.
Okay.
So it was basically, I wanted to do a cruise where women of all ages could just get away, because a lot of women don't really take care of themselves like me.
You're right.
We work all the time. We're always looking out for others. So I wanted to be able to go and relax and do nothing if I wanted to, or do everything if I wanted to. And we actually had to cap it at 40 because I got an overwhelming response. And about 5 of the women had actually been on Virgin before, but the rest of them had never sailed Virgin. I had 2 brand new cruisers that had never cruised before.
That's shocking, isn't it? This is what it's all about.
So it was phenomenal. The Virgin team really rolled out the red carpet for us and made everybody feel really special, and the ladies loved it.
I like what you said, because so you talked about self-care for ladies, and my wife, she takes a girls trip with her mother and her sister, and our daughter-in-laws are always welcome to come. Sometimes they can, sometimes they can't. But she comes back energized, refreshed, and you're exactly right. And like guys, it's important that when they do that, when they come home, that house is spick and span, so they feel like they can do it. Yes. Take care of your queen, man, because she deserves it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I do something similar. I do something similar every year. I call it the Boats and Bros trip, where it's just a bunch of guys. We all get together. We have a good time. We take a short little cruise, because a lot of my guy friends, man, it's tough, right? So with the line of work I do, it's hard to get long periods of time off unless I finagle it, right? And I can. I got buddies that work in like the healthcare industry that work 4 24-hour shifts a week. So for them to get off for 7 to 10 days, it's a little hard. So we do a quick little 4 or 5 day cruise every year. We all gather up, we all hang out. And that's like that one time a year that we can all get together and cruise. Yep. This year I opened it up though. I'm letting, if they want to bring their significant others, they can bring their significant others. Or if you're a female and you want to join, you can join. But just know it's going to be a bunch of guys. We're going to be in the casino, getting drinks, getting rowdy. And we do it every year. And it's a great thing. I started it in the pandemic because Mexico was the only place that was open at the time. So we did it as a bros trip, and we went to Cancun once a year. Yeah, that cruising's back in. I put that on a cruise ship, man. I'd rather be on a cruise ship. So you want to take part, it's going to be on the floating city.
Right.
Absolutely.
So do you guys, obviously you guys cruise a lot, but do you do a lot of all-inclusives, and do you book all-inclusives, or do you just sail when you travel?
We book everything. We've done some honeymoon trips for people. We've done a lot of all-inclusives. So we'll sell it all. But we have not done a lot of all-inclusives.
Yeah, we've done a couple. We've been hosted on a few, but for us personally, we prefer cruising for everything.
Yeah, you ain't missing nothing. Cruising.
Cruising offers. With that said, we do have something that we're working on that is land-based for fall of next year that I think is going to be huge.
We're so excited.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's something my wife and I have looked at a lot. And now that we've become advisors, we've been looking at more in depth. Because Mike and I spent some time together out at Paradise Beach. That was our first time going to Paradise Beach, and leaving that, from what we remembered of it.
What do you remembered of it? Well, bro, we poured you out of a cab. I mean,
oh my Lord, man. I was having to hold on to somebody's backpack down the pier. I was like, just get me back.
You in Paradise Beach.
But Chastity and I were like, this is probably what an all-inclusive could be like all day long if you wanted it to be that way. Eat, drink, be merry, and you know that really kind of turns us on to an all-inclusive. But then at the same time, I could see us sitting there going, you know what? Seeing the cruise ship pass by in Cozumel, whatever, it's like, hey, there's my jam right there. Got to get on the cruise ship.
All inclusives are fun, man. They're great. It's not, I don't want to dog them, right? Like I've done numerous all inclusives. I had a great time at all inclusives, but I feel that I get more bang for my buck on a cruise ship than I do in an all inclusive, right? So like with a cruise ship, you have specialty dining and that costs extra. Well, at an all inclusive, there's some specialty dinings that cost extra. There's some drinks that cost extra. There's some excursions that cost extra. So you're still going to reach into your pocket at an all-inclusive if you want that little bump in leisure and extra stuff, just like you would with a cruise ship, right? But I feel that I want to see the world a lot more than just an all-inclusive. So, I mean, now if we're talking like, you know, Guam or somewhere in Peru, then I'll do an all-inclusive all day long. But if we're talking like Mexico, Jamaica, man, just give me the cruise ship. I don't need that all-inclusive.
Yeah.
Right.
And you don't get that, you know, we talked about that feeling too that you get on that cruise ship, man. Like if the world was a cruise ship, it would be so much better.
Yeah.
I mean, people that would never associate with each other are everybody's friendly. You know, I've never seen what people talk about. And, you know, Tony had a good point a little while back about blaming cruise lines for different people's activities, you know.
Right.
I've never witnessed that. I've never witnessed that on a cruise ship. You know, you might see somebody get angry with staff a little bit here or there, but for the most part, especially seasoned cruisers are like, no, man, you know, these dudes are on here working 12, 18-hour days. For us, they're entitled to a bad day, you know? So,
I've seen that firsthand. I've seen people get out of pocket for no reason.
Yeah, we make it a point to make all the crew that we ever come in contact with know that we truly appreciate them.
Oh, yeah. And it seems to be, I don't know if you guys have noticed it. I don't know if y'all have noticed it or not, but it seems to be on the shorter cruises that you get the attitudes. I don't know if it's just like they're trying to shove it all in or whatever, but you know, you go on a 7
I try and tell people. So when I get people that ask me, like, as a travel advisor, like, would you recommend a short cruise for a newbie? In the beginning, I used to all the time. I used to be like, a short cruise will be great because you'll get a feel for the ship. You'll get a feel if you like it. Now I'm like, don't do it. 7 days or more, because on those 5 nights or less, it's nothing but people going to party and have a good time, get drunk, and then you're going to get people that go out of pocket, right? So, like, I did a 4-night on MSC in December of last year. Unfortunately, we had somebody go overboard. They found her. She was deceased. But the people got so ignorant with the staff because we weren't allowed to get off the ship. Well, we weren't cleared to get off the ship yet. We weren't allowed to be cleared to get off the ship. We had we had issues. We had to get cleared by authorities, and people were just in the staff's face. There was a fist fight at the gangway. Like, there's no reason for that.
Not at all.
And you know that it's those people that are there for that quick little 3-4 day party cruise. We all know MSC, that drink package is 100% all included. So people be on the sauce all day long. And some people, unfortunately, don't know how to handle themselves when they're on the juice, right? So now I recommend 7 days or more, and I'm pushing for Europe and Mediterranean. Like, if y'all want to go all out, over there is where it's at.
Yeah, and you guys have sailed some MSC. You know, I think they get a bad rap. How do you guys feel?
Yes, we agree.
100%.
We love it.
There was a point where we considered ourselves
pre-pandemic
the unofficial, official MSC representatives, ambassadors.
I get it, man. I get it.
Because up until right before the pandemic, we had sailed every ship twice that they had over here in the States. And we sailed Meraviglia in Europe when she launched. Isn't it a gorgeous ship? It's just
I love it. So easy to move about. I love that ship.
I just want to break the staircase open and take it home with me.
The unofficial ambassadors.
I think when it comes to MSC, a lot of people just need to, you know, slow down, take a minute to realize this is a privately owned Italian cruise line. Yeah. So it's gonna be different than what you're used to. The food is going to be different. You know, how they prepare it is going to be different. Some of the shows are definitely going to be different. But again, we really try and stress to people, the money that you're spending for your vacation, you should enjoy it and go with an open mind. Don't listen to me and Addy when we put a video out about the ship. We can give you our opinion and show you things, but it's going to be up to you ultimately to decide how your vacation is. And I really hate when people,
oh, it's horrible.
They do a lot of pre-research, so they already have it in their head that they're going to have a horrible time. You're looking for that one little thing to go wrong, so they could be like, "See, they said it." And I'm like, "Why?
Just go have fun."
Go have fun.
Yeah, and I've been noticing a lot of content creators using that as clickbait. You know, and we actually said we ate at the worst rated MDR in cruising. You know, as one of our videos, but I'm gonna tell you what, man. Gala night on the Meraviglia is it's fantastic. To us, we walked away saying this is a budget Royal Caribbean for us. Like, and I don't mean budget by what's on the ship is budget, the price is budget, but to me, it's on par with Royal Caribbean in my just from where I'm at. And we love the food because we like the Mediterranean diet anyway. And the other thing that impresses me with those guys is they listen. Yes. They listen to the people.
Yes, because back in 2017, when the Seaside first came out, they were getting a horrible rap because they weren't they would not put as much bacon, or they didn't have butter or something like that available on the buffet, or the pizza was not pizza according to Americans, or the cheeseburgers were not cheeseburgery or Americanized cheeseburgers, but they listened to all the comments and changed it.
Yeah. You know, the thing about MSC, they're coming after the American market. That's their plan. You know, that's why you see the ships that are mirroring some of the things that people are finding that they love about Royal or another cruise line. Take the World Europa for example.
The design,
just copy of Oasis class ship with Oasis class things, but it's done in their way, and it's a little bit more affordable.
Yeah. No, I mean, you know, for me and Chas, my wife, you know, it's like, shoot, I can, and even Carnival has become much more expensive than MSC when you throw the drink package in. I mean, I'm looking at, you know, on our agent portal, I'm looking at 4 and 5 day cruises for like $100 per person. And I mean, I can upgrade to Yacht Club, and that Yacht Club experience is nuts.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm trying to explain to people that Yacht Club is a completely different type of experience on MSC.
Get a butler assigned to you. Come on now.
I'm all game for MSC.
Never used the butler, but I love Yacht Club.
Yes.
But here's something. We'll be talking about the Med. We did not know this when we went on the Meraviglia, because we were in the Yacht Club over there, is that they keep up with your whereabouts 24/7. You know how you're used to just going out on your own. You want to leave the cruise ship and then you leave and you go and do your own thing. No.
Yeah, we freaked our butler out.
You have to let them know where you're going so that they can escort you off, make sure you're good, make sure they bring you back on. Yeah, I was like, I didn't know.
We freaked our butler.
They were like, oh my God, we don't know where they are. Where
they? Yeah, it looked like Ocean K too is amazing for the Yacht Club.
Huh?
I say it looked like Ocean K is amazing too if you're Yacht Club.
Oh,
yeah. So, all right, let me switch gears.
Try that now, Josh. I unplugged it. Does that sound better?
You good now? All right. Yeah, we were talking about audio, me and Nadi, before we got on here. I'm trying to get him hooked up here with a Moana.
I have a whole nother setup, but since I started doing this, I'm like, I really don't want to drag all that stuff out. So I just lazy. It's been a long day. I've been up since 4:30 this morning. So
you're good, brother. So Sunday Sip is your live stream, your weekly live stream, right? And every time on the Sunday Sip, Terry's throwing us some kind of cocktail up there. So You know, tell us a little bit about your love for cocktails, man.
Well, I think it started years ago. I grew up in a family where my grandparents actually owned a few bars, had some uncles that worked in bars. And even when I was a little kid, they would kind of sneak me into work with them. And I'd sit in the back bar and just watch what was going on. Little did I know that was just kind of like programming in my head. I just love cocktail culture, mixology. Like she loves food, being a chef, being able to see different spirits and different things being melded together to create something that, you know, you can sit with someone and enjoy and have a conversation over, and it just opens you up. So I really got into it. And the very first time I had a true craft cocktail was in New Orleans. That was the International House Hotel. And I was a guy that was just used to regular bar drinks. Yeah. So I get in this bar, and there's fresh fruits and herbs and stuff all on the counter. And I'm looking at the menu, and I don't recognize anything on the menu. And I'm like, oh, what is an anise? I don't know what. And there was a blue Hawaiian. I was like, oh, they make that in the club. I know what a blue Hawaiian is. All right, let's go. So I'm sitting there and I'm watching the bartender make it. And I'm like, that's not how you make a blue Hawaiian, but I'm going to go with it. Presented the cocktail to me. I tasted it, and my world just changed. It was at that point I realized I will never put anything from a grocery store in my cocktail. Pre-made, if it's not fresh juice, if it's not, you know, good ice, because that really does change
the flavor,
how a cocktail tastes. Like you can make, I'm trying to think of something like the grenadine that you buy in the store. You buy that, and then you actually taste real grenadine. You're just like, well,
simple syrup. I make my own simple. For you know, I use at least turbinado is what I use to melt down. Yeah, and it makes a ton of difference. Yeah, you know, getting your own zest and all that kind of stuff. And I got a little bit of validation from my friend who's married to a Mexican lady. We were having margaritas, and I was fresh squeezing the limes. Nice. And she's like, "Yep, that's authentic right there." You know, it does make a huge difference. And I didn't know you could smoke a margarita, so I did that the other day. It's so good. So I know, being a mixologist, you got to be an old fashioned guy, right?
Oh yeah, that is definitely the go-to. But whenever I go to a bar, I always like to test the bartender with like the #1 staple. Fix me a classic daiquiri.
Yeah.
Because there are so many different ways that you can prepare to, whether it's too sweet or it's too tart but when you find someone that can make that daiquiri just right, because it's just 3 simple ingredients. You can't mess it up. That tells me I'm in the right house. Yeah. And I am an old-fashioned snob. Here's the thing that I hate.
He is, literally.
And I will correct someone on the spot. An old-fashioned with oranges and cherries is not an old-fashioned. It's called a Wisconsin cocktail. But most of the restaurant industry, that's how they teach making an old-fashioned. So you'll see someone in there just muddling.
Yeah.
Like,
don't muddle, man.
What are you doing? It's 3 ingredients. They're like, no, this is an old-fashioned. I'm like, no, bourbon, bitters, sugar. That's it. No. And I'm like, good.
Start over.
So if you're out there listening and you didn't know, now you know. A good old-fashioned cocktail, a true old-fashioned cocktail, is a brown sugar cube, 3 dashes of Angostura bitters, and 2 ounces of your favorite bourbon. Chill that bad boy on ice, serve it on a big cube. Thank me later.
Gotta be Angostura. Yeah, and the same. I'm like that with mojitos and mint juleps. You know, like you make a good mojito or mint julep, because that's my, like, after day 1 on the ship. Because on day 1 you're just drinking all kinds of stuff.
Right.
Day 2, I'm like, all right, let's go to the mojito. You know, something a little. It's still sugary, but not is crazy sugary, right?
So what's your starter cocktail? The first cocktail you have every time you get on the ship?
It depends on the ship. So, you know, if I'm going Carnival, I'm probably going to get the rum punch or the fun ship. My wife, she likes to get a Miami Vice or a pina colada. If it's on, I usually get a Purple Rain on MSC.
Yep.
Royal, I don't really remember because we've only been on one Royal ship. But I'm sure it was something good. Naughty, what's your go-to, man?
Sounds like I gotta change it up, man.
I like a good. Huh? I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. You're good. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
I said I gotta change it up, man, because whenever ship I get on, I always start out with the same thing: whiskey and ginger. Like, it's just that's
Jameson and ginger. That's my. If I want to get really tore up, Jameson and ginger.
I'm a big bourbon and ginger ale dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Which is a highball, right? That's a highball.
That is a highball.
That is a highball. So, you know, enough with Terry, right? So over to Addy. This is new information to me. I didn't know you were a chef. So I'm a big time foodie. I love watching cooking shows. So like, what is your cuisine that you love to cook?
I am a huge fan of Italian cuisine, Italian and Mediterranean.
Yes.
I love pasta. That's my jam. I love
and
pasta.
it's gotta be fresh rolled pasta, right? You gotta make your own. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm not that I don't have the patience for it, but
I don't either. I don't either. I don't think when's the last time I made fresh pasta?
Oh, it's been about a year.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
But
it does make a difference though.
It does make a big difference.
Yeah.
I've bought fresh pasta though.
Yeah.
But
that's all right. That's fine.
But I didn't make.
See, we don't have anywhere close enough to get it. We don't have like a world market or anything like that here where I'm from. So here in Smithfield, we don't have much of that good stuff going on around here. Got to go across the river. You know, it sounds like cross the river, got to walk uphill both ways, but it really is that way.
Gotcha. But Italian, Mediterranean, and desserts, because I'm also by trade a pastry chef. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, pastries. So we're on the keto diet right now, and we're fasting for 72 hours to try and reset after this cruise.
Exact same thing. That's why I'm drinking my tea.
Yep.
We are too. We gotta get.
Luckily, we're only at like hour 30, so we're not super grumpy right now.
Right.
That's a good thing we're doing this podcast tonight. Because if it was tomorrow night, Josh be in a different mood.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So hey, you know, we're getting close here to the hour. You guys do a lot of group cruises, so tell us a little bit about the next one you have coming up.
In a week.
Yeah, exactly. So if you didn't know, we had to try and squeeze this in for you guys because you're gearing up. But you know, I don't know if you have any rooms left, but tell us a little bit about what you got going on.
It's on MSC on their newest ship on the Seascape. We are with Melanin at Sea 2.0, and this is our Thanksgiving week cruise. So if you don't want to cook for Thanksgiving, this is your chance to bring the whole family on board. There's still rooms available. We're going for the whole week, so it's a 7-day Ocean Key Marine Reserve, and we're going to Ocho Rios, Grand Cayman, and Cozumel.
That's awesome.
What about 250 people?
Dang.
Group.
I hope you booked them all.
We do too.
Yeah, well, in conjunction with some other creators.
Yeah.
So we've got half and they've got half. But I've been joking with people the last couple of weeks that this next cruise starts our cruising season.
It really does.
We go from the Seascape, we do a side to side with the new Celebrity Ascent. Ooh. Then we're all for 2-3 weeks, and then we're back on Virgin for the 7th time for New Year's. Then we're on the Icon at the end of January for their inaugural sailing. I'm doing my bros cruise, Brotherhood at Sea Super Bowl cruise in February. A week after, we're back on the
Virgin.
next Virgin group cruise for 2.5. And then we have a break in there
this summer
until July. We're on the Celebrity Edge, another group cruise going to Alaska. And then in August, we're back with her Sisterhood at Sea for Virgin. So we're about to crank up. This year was the quietest year we've had. Last year we did 12 cruises. This year, what, 3 or 4? 5.
Yeah, that's kind
like
of where we were at this year.
This year I'm only at like 6.
Yeah. I think we've got right now we have 6 or 7 planned.
Last year was crazy.
I'm excited for you guys to go on the Seascape. So I mean, spend a lot of time on the aft. The aft of that ship is amazing.
Yes.
And that's where the best bar is, on the aft of the ship too. But
also, we got to get all the recommendations from you. We were invited to the naming ceremony in New York. But
that's what I was going to ask. I thought so. Yeah, I thought you guys got invited.
24 hours, so
we didn't get to experience the whole thing.
Yeah. So now we're going, and now we can do the things.
Yeah. Oh, and the hibachi, the teppanyaki on that ship, the crew that does it. I haven't had a better experience on land. I mean, it was really good. And the margaritas at Ola, they got a bartender up there. Some of the, I don't know how he makes a creamy frozen margarita, but oh my Lord. We kept going up there, and they would close at 10, and we're like, just give me one more, please. Just give me one more. But yeah, we had a great experience. Meraviglia is still my favorite ship. And it's still my wife and I's favorite ship after being on the Seascape, because the Seascape can be a little cumbersome to get around on. Mm-hmm. Loved it. I mean, it's right there. But yeah, you'll enjoy that ship. You probably won't have any issues with the smart elevators because you've probably used them before. It was my wife and I's first time with a smart elevator, which you grow to love.
Yeah.
Yeah, you grow to love that though.
Yeah.
Mike, have you sailed on the Seascape?
Not yet, no. Yeah. Now, my next MSC that I got on the books is World America.
Yeah.
You know me, man. It don't take much. All I got to do is get on the computer. I'm on the next cruise. Yeah. That's the blessing with living here in Florida, right? So last year I hit 15, and 4 of those 15 were MSC on the Meraviglia. So that's what sold me with MSC. Like, I love MSC. MSC is one of my favorite cruise lines. I'm all about the Mediterranean lifestyle, and people are like, "Oh, well, it's cheap, so you get what you pay for," right? Well, a lot of people don't understand. Like, MSC is cheap because of being privately owned, and then owning a shipping company. You're able to save tons of money by doing your own stuff.
Yes.
So, I'm a big advocate with MSC. I definitely want to do them. I've been trying to get Josh to book this one out of Dubai on MSC. So
I want to go so bad because I mean, I've never been to the Middle East when I wasn't there forcefully. So yeah.
That part.
Yeah, exactly. So were you military?
Yeah, Army.
Attaboy. Yeah, baby. Army all the way. I was there. Were you airborne?
Yes. Air assault.
Airborne air assault. I never got the air assault badge, but I did fast rope. So I flew around with the black helicopter guys. But,
nice.
Yeah. So that's awesome, man. Where were you stationed?
Where was I not stationed? The ones I can tell you about.
Yeah.
Fort Wayne. I've been in Fort Clayton, Panama, Fort Wainwright, Alaska.
Okay.
Fort Campbell, Kentucky.
Yeah, that's where I was at majority of my time.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So I'm assuming you're retired, Terry.
You were good people. And thank you for your service.
Yeah, thank you too. And I finally figured out how to respond to that. It was an honor, and it truly was. And both my sons are now serving in the military. I have one in the Air Force, one in the Marines, and I really get frustrated when people are like, you know what? I think we should have free healthcare in this country, or free education in this country. You can go get it. just serve for a little bit. You can go get it, you know. And I know that that opportunity is not open to everyone, but when there's able-bodied people who are wanting something, like, go serve. You can get everything you want, and it changes your whole perspective on life. And I can go on and on, but you know, we're going into Veterans Day weekend, and I really it's awesome to meet another veteran, and that's what this is all about, man. It's just, you know, learning about folks, you know. So we're running close here to the end, and I want to close this out at an hour. I'd like to invite you guys to come back whenever we have more time. It sounds like y'all are going to be crazy busy in the upcoming year. But
and we got to get you over on the SIP.
Oh yeah, I'd love that, and you know, but I always like to do this when I have the opportunity, when we have a little bit of time at the end. Let's say we're in an elevator, Terry. I know you've heard this before, and you've got 90 seconds to sell me on your channel and you guys as travel advisors. What would you tell us?
Oh gosh.
You on the spot.
We are your fun-loving husband and wife duo, travel advisor duo, that love to eat and partake of craft cocktails while abroad, mostly via cruise. So that is us.
And I love, you know, and my wife and I have tried to model ourselves off of folks like you, you know, and other, you know, husband and wife duos, you know, young couples, you know, trying to set the example for, you know, families, and, you know, showing that you can cruise as a married couple, you can have fun. Noddy can tell you we can have a lot of fun on a cruise, even though we're married. We can have some fun, and ain't nothing wrong with grown folks having fun. And it's good also from a travel advisor standpoint to be able to, you know, work with families and stuff like that. But Noddy's going to tell a lie on me right here.
Delete. I'm not telling no lies. Ask me no questions, tell you no lies.
I love it.
Yeah, Noddy knows where all the skeletons are buried now. And still together.
Bro, it's all good.
Hey, but thank you guys so much. This was awesome. I appreciate the time. Go like and subscribe to Addy and Terry. I can tell you right now. So we always watched the Sunday Sip back when we came on Sundays when we had our Shooting the Breeze. We would always watch them before we jumped on live. Now we've moved dates, but we still watch Addy and Terry. You guys are awesome. They deserve your following. Go over there, check them out. Book a cruise with them.
Absolutely, man. Check them out. They got some amazing vlogs on their channel from the Med, from different cruise lines. MSC opinions. We all got them. Check them out.
Ours are all good. Ours are all good.
Yeah. We all got good reviews with MSC. I've never had a bad experience. So
no, neither have I. No. Same. All right. We are peer-to-peer travel chats, and we are out.
Peace.